Welcome back, Captains, to another Infinite Galaxy video. This is Dragothien here, and today I wanted to give a little bit of time for these patch notes to flesh out because I read some things that I thought might not be here for very long, but I was mistaken. I read some other really good things that I wanted to see if they fleshed out, and they did. So I wanted to go ahead and go over the patch notes from the 7th of July, which is just a little bit ago. And I want to go through what you got changed in the game so that you need to be aware of, especially when it comes to gear inside of Infinite Galaxy, because this is a very important change and one that's very beneficial to everyone. So let's go ahead and check these things out really quick. The first one's actually an event that's already ended. It's the Reclaim Shop feature, and that's basically an event where they allowed you to reclaim all the data cards that you've put into any of your commanders, whether it's green all the way up to legendary. So the basic ones all the way up to legendary. Now, it wasn't necessarily the data cards, but the data cards. You can get every data card back, but you can't get all the training courses back. So for epic and legendary crew members, you could get the XP back as well, whereas with the other ones below that, the blue and the green, you couldn't get the XP cards back. You could only get the data cards back. So that being said, you could get those things back, and then there's a trade-in that you can do as well, where you can trade in all that stuff and get other things back in exchange. So if you weren't necessarily going to use any of those green commanders or any particular commanders, you can get all those cards back, trade them in, and get something useful, or at least somewhat useful. I didn't see too much in there that I was really kind of gunning after, so I went ahead and just kind of skipped it, really. I just left everything the way it was. I left all my commanders the way they were, the crew members the way they were, and that was really it. I was fine with what I had. But let's go into the second piece here. Outfitting Materials Production Center. This is huge. This is huge. This allows you to, by default, like just generally create materials for your gear on your flagships. So really the only way to do that right now is through events, by killing pirates, things like that, or by purchasing bundles. Now you have the option to freely just create materials out of thin air and just have them pop into your pack as they are created. Now, it takes a while. I think it's like 5 to 6 hours per piece. So it does take a long time to get up enough to what you actually are going to need, but it's still something for free, you know, to use in the game that you didn't have before. So I definitely enjoy that. I'm glad we've got that Material Production Center up and running. I'll show that to you once I'm done going through this. Now, the next one is the one where I was hoping they would get rid of it. The change. Remove the War Mania feature. This is needed in this game. The War Mania feature, I'm not sure why they removed it. I'm asking the developers now why it was removed, so maybe I can get some clarification. But what the War Mania feature did is it basically, if you attack somebody, you get a War Mania designation on your account, which means that you can't bubble for X number of minutes. And what this allows people to do is, if they are getting attacked, if you're harassing their lines or whatever, they can actually fight back. Without the War Mania feature, you can go and tapping everything all over the place and then just immediately bubble whenever somebody comes near you, which basically makes you immune to any kind of repercussions. There's no locking feature, there's no anything to fight against that. So from a gameplay standpoint, the War Mania feature, in these types of games, they're mostly have some kind of War Mania feature. Like Rise of Kingdoms has the War Frenzy feature. So War Mania would be this one in Infinite Galaxy, and I do think it is needed. I hope they bring it back. It's not something you just want to kind of let go, because again, you can really open up a bit of a toxic atmosphere without the War Mania feature. And then also on top of that, it's just, from a fair play perspective, you shouldn't just let somebody just be able to attack with impunity without being able to take any damage at all because of their actions. You should make some kind of risk whenever you are attacking something else. I mean, that's just my opinion. It doesn't necessarily make it fact, but that's just the way I kind of see things. Let's go to the next one. Slightly reduce. I don't know why it keeps. I think every time I get a message, it resets this. Slightly reduce the resource costs for repairing spaceships. That's good. That's always good. It's very expensive to repair your warships after fighting, especially if it's like regular war. Like if you're fighting PvE, like pirates and events like that, the cost has been very much lowered, especially in things like Purity Protocol and things like that. But even Pirates, like, it can stack up a little bit, but it's not that bad. But with PvP, you're taking some significant severely wounded numbers, which is the point. That's the point. And I'm glad that they reduced the resource costs a little bit, because resources are just so critical in this game. You have to have resources in this game, and there isn't the traditional farm system that you have in other games where you can have 10, 15, 20 accounts. We've figured out ways to do that, but it's not a traditional I can transfer you resources and everything's fine. You have to actually take them away from the city that you're trying to get them from. So something to think about there, but I like the fact that they reduced the cost a little bit. I think that'll be better overall quality of life gameplay. Next one, increase the rewards of some VIP free daily chests. That's good. Increase the number of Federation credits as rewards for VIP 5 to 11. Increase the number of advanced Federation credits as rewards from VIP 9 and higher. Okay, good. So I'm VIP 9. I did notice a little bit of an uptick in those gold Federation credits that we're getting, which is good, because that's how you're gonna that's what you're gonna use to max out your flagships, ranking them up and modifying them to get higher and higher skills, which is the whole point of those flagships, is using those skills and then using the gear on that flagship to augment your march, or your, in this case, fleet. So very, very strong there. It's good to have a little bit more rewards. I mean, why not? I'm glad to have more rewards. The search feature can now check for resource. Oh, this was amazing. Now, there's a little bit of a downside to this, but let me explain. So the search feature can now check for resource mines, planet platforms, really wish this wasn't resetting every 5 seconds, and space pirates in multiple nearby star systems. So instead of having to, traditionally, what we had to do was we had to go to the star system, and then we would use the search feature, and it would only apply to this star system that you're looking at. So if I went here, it would only have all this stuff in this star system. If I wanted to go to a different star system, or if I wanted to mine something, or if I wanted to attack something that was in a different star system, I would have to go to the galaxy map. Then I would have to pick the star system that I wanted to look in. So say I wanted to look in Muri. I would then have to open up the search system here to see what's here, to be able to be mined or whatever. Now what they've done is they have allowed you to expand your search from where you're at right now. So for instance, I'm in this star system here. We've only got, let's see, this is deuterium, titanium, deuterium, and titanium planets. But now you can actually click the search menu, and you can go to planet platform, and you can find other ones that are not in your system. So for instance, this one here, you can go and gather it, and it's 2 minutes away, which means it's in at least one system away, probably maybe two star systems away. But I could send this and go gather that. So that's pretty sweet. I've used most of my energy, so I'm going to actually do just a normal nickel steel level 6 asteroid. This one's maxed out. I'm going to gather using this this flagship here, and this is actually going to be only one star system away. As you can see on the map on the top right, my spaceport is not here. It's in the other system. So if I go back to my spaceport, you should see my Artemis floating off into the distance, or at least it probably was a second ago, but I'm right beside the teleport thing, so it's already gone. But it went here, and then it went to the other star system, because that's where the search went. So very strong. I really like that feature. Now the downside to this, so let me zoom out again, and I'll show you the downside to this. So in most nebulas, I'm not saying all nebulas are like this, but most nebulas where the kingdoms are gearing up for Nebula versus Nebula war, which is what's coming into Infinite Galaxy very soon, they've kind of established zones around in Zone 3 here. So we've got LOD here, LOC. Those are all family alliances here. We've got JPN, AKD, SOS. They're all in this zone. And with this search feature, it's grabbing all the territories that are owned not only by your alliance, but by other alliances. And some nebulas have kind of said, hey, let's gather on our own territory for the benefits that gives. And then some things you just can't gather on other people's territories. So that's a little bit of a problem. But other than that, the actual feature itself and the ease of use of now sending out gathering fleets is way better, way better, way better. Now, I wish the other thing that they would do as a back to this is to create presets. So, because right now I've got my main war preset. I've got my Artemis, I've got my Brontis, I've got my Radamanthus, and I've got my Cyclops. I don't want to have to, when I'm sending out farmers or farming fleets, I don't want to have to completely revamp each different flagship setup here, because if you want to change, it doesn't automatically ask you which fleet you want to send. It just brings up your menu here of how many you have preset. That's it. So in other games, you don't have this until something's on the field. So in other games, what it would look like is this would be gone. And say I'm sending out my first farming fleet, I would just click whatever I want to farm, click gather, and then a menu would pop up with all of your flagships, and you can pick the flagship, and it would probably auto pick destroyers or something like that, because they tend to have the biggest load. And then that would be it. You would send it, and then you're sending a farm flagship that's going to gather faster, that's going to be, you know, have all the benefits of a farming flagship, like the Argo or the Jason, you know, things like that. So with this, you have to actually remove what you already have preset and then put your farming flagships on here. And then when it's wartime, you have to completely remove all the stuff and put the war flagships on. So I'm hoping they change that to where it's an auto select system, or it gives you a menu that you can select what you want to send and then do it, instead of having it preset from the get-go, because this has probably cost me hundreds of millions of resources, just because I don't want to have to remove farm stuff to add war stuff and vice versa. It's just a pain in the butt. It's just a pain in the butt. But the actual search system itself, very, very strong. I like that. I like that change. And now I've got to go all the way down here and grab it again, because we've done so many events. This game does so many events. It's insane. Nope. And now I'm back to the beginning again. Where's that? Game update. Here we go. All right, so there's the search feature. All right, next one is optimize the Lost Star Cluster event. Thank goodness. Added the auto resupply feature and optimized the ease of use for its UI operations. That's strong too. That was a little bit of a pain in the butt whenever you were doing that event. Adjusted the types and discounts of some sales items. I haven't checked that out yet, so let's go check that out too. That's going to probably be in the VIP shop. It's basically turned into kind of a VIP reduced cost shop, so that's good. And plus you got some nice little rewards about a week ago, so that's nice. Let me go check out the spaceport really quick, and I'll show you what they're talking about with that. And I think that'll wrap up the video. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. So Trade Center, when you click it, you get the VIP shop here. Now, the higher your VIP level, obviously the more things you're going to unlock. So for instance, I don't have the Advanced Federation credits unlocked right now at 50% off. That would be nice, but it's not that many. And it's probably going to cost you quite a bit of corium, so I'm not too upset by not having that. But what I do want is the nickel steel crates, which I would not mind getting those, being able to get those at all. So plasma as well at level 11 would be very, very strong. That'd be very nice. But I'm at level 9 right now, and I'll be at level 10 probably in the next few weeks. But I can get all this other stuff. But it looks like they may have adjusted some of the discounts that you get on some of the resources or the flagship cards, things like that. And all these items are really good to get. It refreshes once per week, and you can go ahead and do that. So this is good. This is good. And again, with the material production, that's now right here. They've combined, which they should have combined from the beginning, the outfitting factory, which gives you the ability to create your gear, your weapons, and your shield systems for your flagships. And then they had another one over here to the right that was just kind of redundant. Whereas now this material production here. So you click it. You can go ahead and reset the things that you need. So for instance, I know I need this one. This one's the one I need. I'm going to go ahead and start cranking out a bunch of the amorphous alloys because I use these a lot to make weapons. So you just keep crafting these. And again, they usually take around 5 hours or so per material that's getting crafted, but it's more than what you would get before. And again, you want to obviously be really gunning after these pirates as much as possible, using your energy as much as possible to get those materials, because the materials are absolutely required for your weapon and shield systems for all of your flagships. You got to have that stuff. You just got to have it. So hopefully this has been beneficial for you to understand and enjoy the game a little bit more. Hopefully you understand what they've changed in the game. Again, I really hope that they bring that War Mania feature back. It's just a must-have, in my opinion, in a game like this where it's built around fighting. It's not built around farming. So you do need to farm, but it's built around fighting. So I'm hoping they bring that back. But all the other changes, in my opinion, that they made, again, great changes to the game. I'm glad that they implemented them. And I think there's even more coming very soon, along with, like I hinted earlier, Nebula versus Nebula fights should hopefully be coming soon. From what I understand from the development team, they are going to be putting that out very soon. So looking forward to seeing that and what Nebula 12 can do in that system. So I hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers. Have a good one and take care.